The red dust of Mars swirled around Harry's boots as he trudged toward the emergency beacon's coordinates. His suit's display showed 23 minutes of oxygen remaining, barely enough to investigate and return to the hab. The distress signal had been pulsing for 6 hours, ever since the solar storm knocked out half the colony's systems. He crested a rust-colored ridge and stopped dead. A ship lay crumpled in the valley below, its hull split open like a broken egg. The craft's design was unlike anything in human engineering, all flowing curves and bioluminescent panels that flickered weakly in the thin Martian atmosphere. And there, crawling across the sand with agonizing slowness, was a figure. Harry's radio crackled. "Harry, this is Colony Base. What's your status?" "I've got a situation," he replied, already descending the slope. "There's a crashed vessel. Non-human origin. One survivor." The voice of Commander Patricia Chen came through sharp and urgent. "Do not approach. Repeat, do not approach. We don't know if—" Harry muted the channel. The alien had collapsed by the time he reached her. She was humanoid in shape, but distinctly other. Her skin held an iridescent quality that shifted between silver and deep purple, and her eyes, now half closed, were pools of liquid amber. Her suit was torn, leaking a viscous fluid that steamed in the Martian cold. Harry knelt beside her. His scanner showed she was dying. Whatever passed for blood in her physiology was rapidly crystallizing in the sub-zero temperature. Her breathing apparatus was shattered. She looked up at him, and despite the alienness of her features, Harry recognized the expression: fear, pain, the universal language of suffering. His hand went to the emergency water pack on his belt, his backup supply, meant to sustain him if anything went wrong on the return journey. The colony's water recycling systems were down. Rationing was strict. This water represented his margin of safety, possibly his life. The alien's lips moved, forming sounds his translator couldn't parse. But her hand reached out, trembling toward the water pack. Harry made his decision in a heartbeat. He broke the seal and carefully tilted the container toward her mouth. The alien drank in desperate gulps, her throat working. As the water, precious, life-giving water, flowed into her, the crystallization in her veins began to reverse. The color returned to her skin. Her breathing steadied. She used every last drop. When the container was empty, the alien's hand found Harry's. She pressed something small and smooth into his palm, then spoke a single word his translator caught: gratitude. Her eyes closed. For a terrifying moment, Harry thought she'd died anyway. Then he saw the gentle rise and fall of her chest. "Unconscious but stable, Harry." Commander Chen's voice burst through his speakers. He'd forgotten he'd muted her. "Harry, respond immediately." "I'm here," he said quietly. "I'm bringing her back." The trek back to the colony was a nightmare. Harry carried the alien over his shoulders, his oxygen supply dwindling with every step. His HUD flashed warnings. 5 minutes. 3 minutes. 1 minute. He made it through the airlock with 47 seconds to spare. The alien, Jasmine as she introduced herself once she'd recovered, stayed at the Mars colony for 3 days. Her ship was beyond repair, but she assured them her people would come. She spent those days observing the humans with fascination, particularly their water conservation efforts, their careful rationing, and their stubborn determination to make a hostile world livable. She watched Harry especially. On the 3rd evening, Jasmine found him in the observatory dome, staring up at the stars. "Your world is thirsty," she said softly, "and yet you gave me your last water." Harry shrugged. "You needed it more than I did. Your commander told me that action could have cost your life. That water shortage is your colony's greatest threat." "Yeah, well," Harry smiled. "Seemed like the right thing to do." Jasmine studied him for a long moment. "In my language there is a word, Shintara. It means one who gives without counting the cost. It is the highest honor among my people." She pressed her palm to her chest. "You are Shintara, Harry of Earth." 2 days later, Jasmine's rescue ship arrived, a small shuttle that took her away with promises of gratitude and friendship. The colony returned to its routine of survival, and Harry returned to his maintenance duties. But on the 7th day after Jasmine's departure, the long-range scanners lit up. 3 massive ships appeared in Mars orbit. Commander Chen's face went white. The vessels dwarfed anything humanity had ever built. Their weapon systems alone could reduce the colony to vapor in seconds. Then the communication came through, and Jasmine's face appeared on every screen in the colony. "People of Mars Colony," she said formally. "I come as ambassador of the Thalrix Confederation. 7 days ago, one of your own gave me his last water when I was dying in your desert. He asked nothing in return." "He expected nothing in return," she smiled. "But the Thalrix remember. The Thalrix honor Shantara." The cargo manifest began downloading. Harry stared at the numbers, unable to process what he was seeing. Advanced water extraction technology, atmospheric processors, terraform acceleration systems, fusion reactors, medical supplies, food synthesizers, everything the colony needed and more. Enough to transform Mars from a desperate outpost into a thriving world. "This is not trade," Jasmine continued. "This is not politics. This is gratitude. And it is the beginning of friendship between your kind and mine." Commander Chen turned to Harry, tears streaming down her face. "Do you realize what you've done?" Harry looked at the screens showing the 3 massive ships, at the technology that would save not just their colony, but would accelerate humanity's expansion into the stars by decades, perhaps centuries, all because he'd given water to a dying stranger. "I just helped someone who needed help," he said quietly. Jasmine's final words echoed through the colony. "Let it be known across the galaxy, humanity knows Shantara, and the stars themselves will remember." In the observatory, as cargo shuttles began their descent, Harry held the small, smooth object Jasmine had pressed into his palm days ago. It had grown warm, and now it glowed with a soft blue light. A beacon, a promise kept. The first drop of water given freely had returned as an ocean of hope, and humanity, against all odds, had found allies among the stars. The end.